being broke and being rich are both decisions. Let's talk about that. Hey, what's up? My name is Chris Hughes, and in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the idea of where your focus goes. It's pretty much where your life goes. Okay, so the idea is that pretty much everything in your life is based upon the decisions that you ultimately decide up here. So if you think about that for just a second, the statement I said at the beginning, being broke and being rich are both decisions, I'm gonna kind of back that up a little bit so that way you don't get like upset or you don't get mad or you don't wanna like hit downvote or whatever you choose to do in this point. And what's gonna happen is this might cause you to kind of rethink past beliefs that you might have had. I've had to go through this. I first went through it in about 2010 when I realized that, you know, who I was up to that point was determined by what I did previously, like the actions that I took and the decisions that I made created the person that I was at that point in my life. And over the last 5 years, the same thing has been proven to be true, and I've lived a very blessed life because of the decisions that I've made and the actions that I've taken because of those decisions. So what I want to do is I want to kind of give you a couple examples, a couple things that you can take from this video and apply to your life, so that way you can, you know, kind of go towards what you want more so than running away from the things you don't like. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about what it is that you want in your life. Like the ultimate dream, the ultimate goal that you might have, whatever that happens to look like. It could be pretty much anything. Like realistically, it can be anything you want in your life. And then think about what that looks like to you. One of the first things we often do when we're doing this kind of stuff is we think about something and then our brain is just like, you shouldn't have that, or that's impossible, that's too crazy, that's too insane of an idea to have. And you know what, that's perfectly fine. Like a lot of the times the things that we've wanted, like as children, as we grow up, people often tell us to like shrink our visions, to, you know, be more conservative about stuff, to be less crazy about certain ideas and things because they don't want to see you fail. And the idea here is that by playing it safe in that particular instance, sometimes you're limiting the people who could have become great. So my intention for this video is to kind of get you to rethink about everything that's going on in your life and where it is that you want to go. So if you think about it, like I'm a big fan of college basketball, and Zion Williamson played at Duke this past year, and it's 2019 now, just for those of you who might be watching and listening in the future. And as a little kid, like he had a vision to go play college basketball and to go play professional basketball. So what did he do? He made a decision to, and of course he's like genetically gifted. He's like a 6'8", 275-pound dude, but he made the decision that that's what he wanted to do. So what did he do? Well, he put in the work. He, you know, every single day he made the decision to work towards, like, to chip away at getting towards his goal. And what happens is, because he made that decision, everything in his life, you know, he started to knock down things, just little things at a time. You know, working on his fitness, working on his jump shot, working on dunking, working on everything that is required for ultimately him to go to the professional, like, NBA. And if I'm sure that throughout his childhood, people were like, come on, Zion, like this is dumb. Like you shouldn't try to be an NBA player. 1 out of every, you know, 58 million people become a pro. And don't quote me on those numbers. I don't know the actual numbers. But, you know, people probably told him to be more reasonable, to say just try to be a college athlete, to try to be an okay college player. And what happened was he didn't want that. He knew what his vision was. He wanted to be in the NBA, be a superstar, be, you know, incredible when it came to being a basketball player. So every single day he worked towards that. So the decision led to the actions, which led to, like, right now he's a professional, or the season hasn't started yet, but he got drafted #1 because of the actions that he's taken based on the belief that he wanted. So how can you do this? Like, how can you apply this in your life? How can you apply this for anything that you want in your personal life? And, you know, maybe you're not 6'8" and love basketball. I'm not, but I do love basketball. But the idea here is to kind of figure out what it is that you want. You know, seriously, like, pull out a piece of paper right now. You can pull out a piece of paper and then actually write out those things that you're going after, the things that the crazy ideas, the stuff that you know, you feel a little weird about telling normal people, because let's be honest, like, normal people don't always understand our crazy dreams. Sometimes when I tell people that I'm going to have an island, people, like, their eyes glass over and they kind of dismiss it. And to me, like, the people who get it are just like, dude, you're gonna have an island. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's cool, isn't it? So think about that. Like, that's something that a lot of people are uncomfortable talking about. To me, it freaks me out every time I say it, because I know that I want it. So I'm going to, you know, do the things necessary to achieve that, because it's, you know, some crazy goal that I have personally. Okay, so now we know that it's kind of just like all a decision. What do you do now? Well, I want to show you something. I'm gonna do a little experiment here with the video editing to see if I can do this. So I'm gonna recommend a book, and what this book is, The Go-Giver by Bob Burg and John David Mann. And this is a book that I first read years and years and years ago. And, you know, in like 2010, I think, was when I first got my hands on this and first read it. And I just recommended it to my aunt when she was down here for a little vacation after work. And what was kind of cool about this is it fit incredibly well for her at this moment in time. Like, there's a lot of ideas that are inside the book that I believe will be extremely valuable for you. And the reason I'm talking about the focus is because one of the chapters talks about, you know, what you focus on is what you often get. And there's certain laws that are talked about inside of the actual book that will be valuable for you, you know, if you're trying to figure out what it is that you're trying to go for in your life. So there's gonna be a link down below this video where you can get a copy of the book. It's just gonna go right over to Amazon, so that way you can buy it. I don't know the price because, you know, I'm not on Amazon right now, so trust me, it's a really good book, highly recommended. And okay, so I'm gonna give you a brief look into one of the sections, one of the first laws for this book, just so that you can kind of understand what it's about to decide whether or not that you should get it. And I do believe you should. So the first law is the law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. So think about that for just a second, and think about how you can apply that into your life, into your business, and how you can actually implement this stuff. And what I want you to do now is, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go down there and click the little subscribe button, so that way you can see more of these things. If you've read the book, leave a comment down below about your favorite law from the book, so that way I can see it. And if you haven't gotten a copy of the book, do it. I'll link it up down below. I'll put my affiliate link, so I get like a little percentage. I get a commission for recommending it to you, and I'll leave a direct link that doesn't give me payment if for whatever reason you're like, I don't like you, Chris, I just want to get a copy of the book and not let you have any other commissions for it. So I'm going to link this up down below. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for spending the time here with me. I do appreciate it, and I hope you have an awesome day, awesome night, whatever it is for you, and I will see you in the next video.